Alright guys, so I have some major news regarding the next two updates. Yeah, I know Across the Spider-Verse literally just went live a couple hours ago, but with the drop of this update, we got some leaks, some data mines from a very reliable source, and we're getting information letting us know that we're going to be getting new uniforms for Sabretooth, Wolverine, and Spider-Gwen. I'm not sure if we're getting anything else in addition to that, but this information is coming to us via this person right here, Pink Chode, who is a reliable data miner for Marvel Future Fight. They've been at this for quite some time and they're generally very accurate. Whether it's coming this month or next month, it's definitely coming, and I am willing to bet that this is going to be the filler tier 4, just like they did with Adam Warlock, to kind of bridge the gap until the next update. More than likely what's going to happen in 2 weeks is we're going to get a tier 4 and a new uniform for Spider-Gwen, so they're going to probably give us back-to-back speed tier 4s, and then after that they're going to follow up with a combat tier 4 in Wolverine. Now you guys might say this is a reach, but trust me when I say this person is quite reliable, and this is why I'm telling you guys that you might want to skip Miles, because Miles isn't really moving the needle too much. However, I have found a reason why you may want him, because I did speak quite negatively about Miles Morales and the fact that if he's not being changed into a PvP character, there's really no reason to tier 4 him. Well, they've kind of created a reason, assuming there's no other speed character that's stronger than him. So as you can see right here, these are the restrictions slash requirements for Kang the Conqueror. We already have all of what we need to know about who you can use and who you can't use. So stage 24 is going to require you to use a speed character. We already have Black Widow, Shadow Shell, Gamora, etc. You need a character with a leadership tag. We have Moon Knight, obviously, so you don't necessarily need Miles for this, but Miles has the leadership tag. Captain America has the leadership tag. Sharon Rogers has that. And then we're here for human, we have Sharon Rogers. Lots of characters can do this. Then we have villains. We can use Thanos, Black Bolt, we can use Carnage, Hulk, etc. Then we have mutant, we have Jean Grey. Then we have Weapon Master, which is Gamora and Moon Knight. Then we have Universal Superhero, Thor, again making his presence felt. You're not going to forget about Thor, even though he's no longer ABL meta. Then right here, as you can see, we have Blast, female superhero. Maybe this is finally a reason to tier 4 Sharon Rogers, but we have Storm, and maybe she can do it. Then we have energy projection. Off the top of my head, I only think of Iron Man, but there might be somebody else. But here, 65 to 69. Assuming Ant-Man can't do this, Miles Morales would be the only character that can do this. However, that's assuming you can get here before we get another speed male human character. So not too sure if that's enough of a reason for you to tier 4 him, and then you're gonna end up getting stuck at 75 to 79 because we don't have any universal human tier 4s. However, that's where Miles Morales' value kind of stops, right here at 65 to 69, assuming he's the only one that can clear it. But if most of you guys aren't even doing past stage 9 against Jean Grey, I would assume most of you guys are going to do the same against Kang the Conqueror as well. So is that enough reason for you to tier 4 him? You let me know in the comment section. Now keep in mind that the last universal tier 4 we got was Thanos. That was in April. Following that, we had multiple blast tier 4s in Star-Lord and Adam Warlock. We got a speed tier 4 in Gamora, and now we have multiple speed tier 4s. So we are well overdue for a combat tier 4, even though we have quite a few of them already. We have Dr. Octavius, we have Hulk, we have Venom, we have Moon Knight, we have Carnage, quite a few of them. However, it's been a while since we've gotten a new tier 4 combat character, and I would not be surprised if it's actually Wolverine, because it seems like these guys are accelerating the pace in which they give tier 2 natives tier 4 so that they can bleed players of tier 4 materials so that they can make more money in the shop, because we know the only thing they get creative with is these sales that keep popping up in your face. I can't believe they're trying to sell that to me. So keep that in mind when you guys are going out there saying, oh, I don't care if Miles is the new meta. I don't care. I play this game to have fun. I don't care if he's meta. I'm just gonna tier 4 him anyways. Okay, cool. Just don't cry that you don't have materials when characters that break the game join the game, or get uniform, or get tier 4 power-ups, because y'all the same ones I see saying, oh, I don't have materials. They need to increase the drop rates. This is not fair, da 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 da. But y'all the same ones that are gonna impulsively tier 4 characters when they're not offering much utility at tier 4 that you couldn't get out of them at tier 3. But hey, I ain't your daddy. You do what you do. I'm just letting you know what's coming and you should probably plan for it. And if I'm skipping a lot of these tier 4s, a lot of y'all spent less than me, but you want to have every tier 4? By all means, man. But you got to pay the price, and it's a heavy price to have all of these tier 4 characters, because nowadays it looks like it's one tier 4 every 2 weeks. And if one of them every time is going to be a tier 2 native, until they run out of tier 2 native, then what's gonna happen? You're gonna run out of materials sooner rather than later.
Because I'm all out of money!
Now, this uniform for Wolverine is coming from the X Lives and Deaths of Wolverine, which is a comic that was running, I believe, in 2022. It's a very, very recent comic run. I can't believe they're actually doing this. It's this comic run right here, the X Lives of Wolverine, where you get to see Wolverine go back in the past, and you can see there's different versions of Wolverine going all the way back. You even get to see a young buck version of Wolverine. So what's happening here is basically Jean Grey and Professor X is sending the mind of Wolverine back into the past to stop Omega Red from trying to kill Professor X, because Professor X is now basically the mutant messiah. Professor X, Apocalypse, all of these top tier mutants, they came together and they're now living on Krakoa, and basically they have achieved immortality for the mutants. When a mutant died, they have a way to bring them back, and because of that, some of the humans just don't like that and they want to stop them. And to do so, Russia basically decided they're gonna send Omega Red back into the past to get rid of Professor X, because he's the head, right? So you lop off the head and everything below it should ideally die afterwards. So basically this is the storyline where you get to see Professor X and Jean Grey send Wolverine's mind back into his former lives, and it's really cool. You get to see basically the birth of Professor X, and then when this doesn't work out in Omega Red's favor, then he goes back even further trying to kill Professor X, his granddaddy. So you see the Omega symbol on this guy. Basically this guy is the gardener, and Omega Red sent his mind back in the past as well, and he's just basically hopping from people to people to people to try and kill Professor X or just wipe out his bloodline to begin with. Like, it's actually crazy. That's how you know you someone of great importance. If they want to extinguish your entire bloodline, not just you, your daddy, your granddaddy, your great grandpappy, every piece of you has to be erased from existence. It's actually crazy. And I ain't gonna hold you, this version of Professor X and the mutants and whatnot, I ain't really rocking with it, because they kind of betrayed Mora by taking away her power and trying to kill her, infected her with a type of incurable cancer after she sets up this perfect future for them. We've talked about her before, and she's a possible new character that we could get in the game, but
Don't
what?
give me hope.
Mora basically has the power to reset the timeline every time she dies. She can live forever. And what happened is basically she's created this timeline now where Krakoa is a thing, the mutants are established, and finally the mutants have the upper hand over the humans. So what they've done now is actually betray Mora, took away her power so that when she dies, the timeline never resets, and then they can have this timeline where they can live forever. But Mora is pissed, so basically she infects Wolverine with this virus. I think it's the Phalanx virus, and sends him back to kill everyone because she's pissed off that they betrayed her. So it's two different things happening at the same time. Basically Mora is trying to get revenge on the mutants, and then you have Omega Red trying to kill Professor X because they're trying to stop the mutants from, you know, having Krakoa and having the power to be immortal and all this good stuff. So it's really cool. I don't want to ruin the entire story for you, but I wanted to give you guys a little synopsis, because when you see X of Death Wolverine, you're like, what the hell is going on? I'm not gonna lie to you guys, this entire story is very confusing because Wolverine is moving from place to place so fast. As soon as he's established in one area, Omega Red moves around, and then Wolverine has to track him down and go there to try and stop him in a different timeline. But you get to see so many different versions of Logan. It's really cool, and this would be the perfect time to add Omega Red to the game, not gonna lie, because he's literally the main bad bad guy because he's the one they're sending back in time to deal with Wolverine. But I would love to see him get added to the game. But with our second character being added to the game, oh my boy, Mikhail Rasputin. So this guy right here is the older brother of Colossus and Magic. He's basically a reality warper, bro. Like, he's OP as hell. I've always wanted to see him in Marvel Future Fight, and it would be so cool to get him as a super villain. But basically, he's the guy sending Omega Red back in time to try and kill Professor X. So this is why I said Omega Red is kind of the main bad guy, but he's the puppet master behind the scene. And I would love to see them both get added to the game, but I don't think we've seen them add a new character in a mid-month patch in quite some time. So I'm not holding my breath, and you shouldn't either. However, if they did do a full update after they released this new X of Death's Wolverine uniform and drop him and Omega Red, I'm sure they would bring back a lot of people to this game. I'm gonna just leave it here. If you guys want me to go in depth with this storyline and give you guys a little bit more information, let you know what started this whole thing, how it ends, all that good stuff, I could definitely do that.